What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. I just want to say thank you for those of you who are subscribed to the platform, who have been taking in the content as I've been getting the opportunity to create it. I really do appreciate you. And if you are not subscribed yet, I would ask you consider doing so. And if you're listening to this on YouTube while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. And this is a pretty dark situation, but let's get into this conversation, guys. I'm not sure if you heard the news about Steven Tyler, lead singer of the group Aerosmith. I used to like some of their music back in the day. Steven Tyler, he's also the father of Liv Tyler. She has been in some movies, and she even was in some of his music videos back in the 90s along with Alicia Silverstone. And if you know who she is, she's a famous actress, more known for the movie Clueless that she was the lead star in, along with Stacey Dash and a few other people. But anyway, this news story comes from Rolling Stone magazine, and Steven Tyler, he's being sued right now. And he should be happy that it is a civil suit and not a criminal suit, because if you hear the things from these allegations and even some things that he actually admitted himself, he sounds Looney Tunes. He really sounds crazy. And even legal experts are saying that his defense of this alleged assault makes him sound effing insane. Those are their words. That was actually quoted. Okay, I just didn't say the word. So basically, it's been months after he was being accused of assaulting a minor in a sexual way. He is responding to these claims, and he's denying all of the allegations, and he wants the case to be dismissed. But basically, the person who is alleging these things and is suing him right now, Julia, I don't know if it's pronounced Misley or Miley, it's spelled Misley. She alleges in her lawsuit that he assaulted her and battered her in the 70s, starting when she was 16. And she says that he convinced her mother to grant him guardianship over her and that they were together for about 3 years. She referenced his own 2011 memoir in which he wrote that he almost took a teen bride, quote, and that the parents of this young girl signed a paper over for me to have custody so I wouldn't get arrested if I took her out of state. Now, listen, some of this stuff is sounding kind of, I Believe I Can Fly singer-ish, the man who's currently in prison right now for similar allegations. And this is absolutely crazy. I mean, I don't think anyone, when they heard the story of the things that came out in the surviving the I Believe I Can Fly singer story, thought that he was the only one ever that did some things like this. And there were even some people that were coming out in whatever way you may think. I thought it was just kind of crazy, but trying to defend him by bringing up other people, other famous people that have been with younger females, and why didn't anything happen to them? I don't ever understand when people try to use that as a defense of one person. What they did was wrong. If other people did wrong, it doesn't make what they did right. You know, multiple wrongs do not make a right. It just means that some people luckily did not get penalized for the wrong that they did by the hands of the law, but it doesn't erase the wrong of the person that you're trying to defend, okay? But what I'm saying is that this sounds eerily familiar. And the parents definitely were wrong in doing what they did. So I'm not saying that they do not bear any responsibility. If they're even still alive, I don't know. But she said that this, happened. This definitely took place. Her parents did some things that they should not have done. And I'm sure there probably was something that they gained in exchange for them doing that. So it's sounding like they may have taken money in exchange for them allowing him to be with their daughter. Not cool. Not cool at all. But we know that there are many people who are parents. It doesn't mean that they deserve to have children, okay? But he wrote in his memoir about this young lady, and he says she was 16. She knew how to nasty, but it's like, what? And there wasn't a hair on it. Gross, just disgusting. You're just disgusting. It just makes my skin crawl. It's so freaking disgusting. So the lawsuit alleges that Tyler convinced her to terminate a pregnancy when she was 17 after she was hospitalized following an apartment fire. And writing about the experience decades later opened her up to involuntary infamy, is what she's alleging. So he responded to the allegations in the lawsuit with 24 affirmative defenses, from denying that she suffered any damages to alleging that she failed to mitigate any alleged damages herself prior to filing suit. He didn't deny that he'd done anything with her, and most notably, he alleged in his response that she, who was 16 while he was 25 at the time of the allegations, consented to the relationship that they had physically, and that her claims were barred because of immunity to defendant as a caretaker / guardian. So you're basically saying because you were granted the role of a guardian by her parents, that excused you to have sexual relations with this young girl? He's absolutely nuts. So some legal experts, they were viewing this and they're giving their views on it. And one said, I got to the immunity response and I thought, this is effing insane, says Susan Krummuller, who frequently litigates misconduct claims as the founding attorney of Krummuller PC. She says, there is no such thing as immunity to a caregiver or guardian for abuse sexually. I don't have the words to describe how crazy it is. The fact that this was even written up is like, are you defending yourself? Are you representing yourself in court and you came up with these affirmative defenses? Or do you actually have a true attorney that is representing you? To be honest with me, it sounds like the lead attorney from YouTube might be his lawyer, because oh my God, that goof. I can't stand him. But anyway, I cannot even believe that an attorney wrote this up. It's nuts. Krummuller similarly acknowledges that, defendants, they will usually give affirmative defenses in a lawsuit, in a civil suit, to establish their case, but the responses that he gave are, quote, particularly egregious, given the way the answers could be interpreted. She says it's very sloppy and lazy to just set out this laundry list of boilerplate defenses, so many of which very clearly do not apply. I think if the plaintiff wanted to file a motion to dismiss these defenses, they would win. The original complaint includes 3 claims: battery sexually, assault, and emotional distress. And Krummuller says you don't have to tie which facts correspond to which claims very cleanly. You could argue immunity could apply to intentional emotional distress, but even with that claim, there's no immunity. So there's no legal basis. It's just baffling. But look, just the mere fact that he said in his defense that, hey, I was basically her guardian at the time, so you guys got to just dismiss this because this is ridiculous. I was her guardian. I was her caretaker. That to me sounds even worse. It's not sounding to me like he is saying, look, I know I was 25 and she was 16 at the time, but we were actually in a relationship, and you may say that she wasn't seen as an adult at the time because of her age, but we were in a relationship, and now she's coming at me many years later, and this is just a money grab. Maybe. And I'm not even saying that's okay, but to come out and say her parents signed her over to me so that I wouldn't get arrested if, they catch us traveling beyond state lines together. So essentially, I was her caretaker and guardian. And so she can't come after me, and the court can't come after me for this because I was taking care of her. That actually sounds worse than if he were to say that we were actually in a relationship, and now all of these years later, she's trying to come at me and this is just a money grab, because that might be even seem more credible than what he's actually coming out and admitting. It, to me, just sounds absolutely crazy that he is admitting these things. I don't know, maybe it's the drugs that has him speaking the truth, and the truth just is like insane. But this is absolutely crazy. I don't know what's going to come of this. We'll keep our eyes open and ears tuned in to see what happens with this situation. But oh my gosh, there are just so many disgusting, creepy men in this world. And I am so over the people that try to make it out to be the female's fault for someone who is in an age authority position, a money authority position, a higher ranking position than this female who is of a younger age, to make the female out to be the one in the wrong, to say things like, oh, she knew what she was doing. They're not even at that age to make cognitive, rational decisions. Their prefrontal cortex is not completely developed at that age. And so to be with someone who is much older, I don't care what anyone says, to say, well, she knew that he had the money and he had the fame and that's why she was doing it. Well, maybe so, but ultimately the law says that you're not really capable of making those decisions at that age. And honestly, I feel like the age should be increased, because I don't know what it is. I don't know, is it because as time goes by and things are more accessible, just some people in terms of the intelligence level, it gets dumbed down, and so many stupid things more so are happening these days, I believe, than it was happening years ago. Maybe the age of consent should be increased. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that when it comes to the age situation, but he indeed, I don't believe, helped himself out by coming up with these defenses as to why this would have been okay. It sounds absolutely insane. So I just wanted to talk about that, and you let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Thank you so much for liking this content, subscribing to the platforms. This is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest, just sharing my honest opinions, guys. So this is nuts, honestly. I really don't have any more words for this. So until next time, I just wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.